Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back for a NFL Football is Back Thursday edition of the Steel City Sports Report. I am your host, Brady Vini. We are here once again talking about everything Steelers, Penguins, and Pirates, and today's live stream, kind of pretty much the same thing that we've been talking about all week. We started with this on Tuesday. We started with this yesterday. We're starting with it again today. And most likely we will start with this as well tomorrow. That is the Cam Heyward situation, an update in the ongoing drama battle over a few extra $1 million between Heyward and the Pittsburgh Steelers. What went down today we will discuss here in a matter of moments, as well as everything else that went on at Steelers practice worth noting this afternoon. We will also talk about the Pittsburgh Pirates a little bit, and wow. This team is all of a sudden looking like a brand new team that we have not seen in a long time. A team that is far different from the one that was just such a burden to watch for a majority of the season. We will talk about them and their success against one of the MLB's best teams. And we will discuss anything else that comes across our thoughts along the way later on in the show. First thing is first, if you are new here to the channel, please subscribe and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Also would appreciate it if you leave a like, if you share this live stream, and if you leave a comment in the comment section just like this. Any thoughts, questions, or opinions that you have, I can pop those up on screen at a moment's notice. Also would be very helpful if you go follow the channel at Steel City SR on Facebook, Instagram, and X, and be sure to tune back in later tonight, hopefully before the football game, for a new edition of SCSR 60. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be more of the same here on the channel today, as we are just 3 days away now from Pittsburgh Steelers football returning for the 2025-26 season. And the biggest storyline with this team, it is not about what all we can expect for this upcoming weekend's game. It is, again, about the Cam Heyward situation. Another turn in that roller coaster of a story took place today. The Steelers once again holding practice at their facility on the south side. And as you see here from Brooke Pryor, Steelers beat writer for ESPN, Cam Heyward nowhere to be found during team drills today. He was not out there on the practice field. Keanu Benton and Isaiah Loudermilk, they were leading the drill today for the D lineman group. Adam Schefter making note of this, the top NFL insider out there, saying that Cam Heyward, who has wanted his contract adjusted this summer, was not in uniform today with the rest of the team and didn't appear to practice. That was so the case on the Steelers practice report, but I'm not worrying about this. I see some people flipping out, still going scorched earth on Cam and whatever he's doing to get a couple extra $1 million here. But for this one, this is one of those few times where I'm not worried about Cam not practicing today. And here's why. A bunch of reporters have made note of this. For what it's worth, Heyward, he has typically taken veteran days off on Thursdays the last couple of seasons. So he'll practice, in the Tuesday, Wednesday practices, take a day off Thursday, also probably takes a day off Friday, which usually is just a walkthrough anyway. So Heyward not practicing today isn't the most shocking thing in the world, and it's not, I think that much telling of where he is with his decision or not to play this Sunday, or where negotiations stand with the Steelers. Brooke Pryor pointing out in 2023, Heyward missed Thursday with a stomach / injury veteran day. In 2022. He didn't practice with a vet day. So aside from those two things here, Heyward, he typically takes Thursdays off, and this is not injury related. The Steelers practice report just had Heyward listed as a resting veteran. They didn't put, hey, he's holding in, or chose not to practice, anything like that. He's on the practice report, just didn't practice like he normally does. I'm sure the only way that him sitting out this Thursday, that will probably differ from the rest of the year, is that no other veterans took a day off today. So no TJ Watt or older veteran guys of that kind. They didn't take the day off today, but Cam, been here forever. He knows the drill and all that practices. I'm sure 36 years old now. He knows what's best for him and getting ready for an upcoming game. So not going to take too much stock into Cam missing practice once again today. The only thing really worth noting of Cam not participating today that could signify he still is, kind of holding in for a contract raise, is that today he was scheduled to speak with the Pittsburgh media. He chose not to do so again. So Cam not talking with the media, not practicing today. The practice part, I'm not really all that worried about. The talking to the media part, that does raise a little bit of a red flag, but let's not get it twisted here. I still think, like how I'm sure all of us are thinking, this is going to end with the team boarding their plane on Saturday, getting ready for their flight over to New Jersey. Cam probably walking up the steps into the plane or on the plane itself. He'll get that contract adjustment, and then he'll be out there like nothing ever even happened over the past month or so, and he'll be out there on the field. Who knows, might even take a page out of TJ Watt's book. Remember when Watt, a couple of years ago, I think it was 2022, when he got his new contract, waited to the last minute, signed it, I think like a day or so before the game, goes out there, has 2 sacks. Would not be out of the ordinary for similar things to happen with Cam Heyward here. Steelers still have a ton of cap space, and I think they don't have any reason or any irons in the fire here that would need them to keep that much money, free for another big move. So that's where we stand. Again, another update today on the Cam Heyward situation. Did not practice, did not talk to the media. The practice portion, nothing strange there. We'll see what goes on tomorrow, Friday. We will have this team practice, sort of have a walkthrough, and have them have their final injury report put out there. We'll see if Heyward is still on it then. But until then, we're still going to stay optimistic here and think that Heyward is still going to be out there. A couple of his teammates and coaches have said so. By the way, Steelers defensive coordinator Terrell Austin talked about Cam Heyward today, said absolutely he's been practicing, so I'm anticipating him playing when asked about Cam. And Cam's defensive line mate, who lines up right by him on the right side, Alex Highsmith, he said that Cam is their leader and that he is confident Cam will play, citing him as an all-pro guy for us. Highsmith also said that this hasn't been a distraction. He's been out there still practicing with us as well, still getting reps. So if Highsmith is saying it and Austin is saying it, and going back a couple of days now, head coach Mike Tomlin is saying it, all of those guys saying Cam will be out there, I think that is a positive sign that something is coming down the line here with Cam. Maybe a contract extension, maybe not, but that he will be out there on Sunday. So Cam can say whatever he wants. If everyone else, when they're not saying, you'd have to ask Cam about that, is saying, yeah, we expect him to be out there, then you best believe Cam will be out there. Couple of other notes from Steelers practice here today. Nick Herbig, he was once again out there on the practice field in uniform. No pads today for the Steelers, but Herbig, he was out there working again, looked spry again, was still listed as a limited participant, though, with his hamstring injury. And Derek Harmon, rookie defensive end, he too, like Heyward, did not practice again. Not going to play this Sunday, so nothing out of the ordinary there. Back to the Steelers the Steelers coordinators. We heard from both defensive coordinator Terrell Austin and offensive coordinator Arthur Smith today. Other than talking about Cam Heyward, Terrell Austin once again reiterated that the Steelers' injury with Derek Harmon, that situation, it is a short-term injury for Harmon. Austin said that the team is fortunate in that he will be back. So goes along with the thought of, hey, Harmon didn't go on IR when the 53-man roster cuts needed to be finalized. He'll probably just miss this weekend, be back in the home opener next weekend against the Seahawks. And also, Austin, speaking of Derek Harmon, a guy who will be helping to fill his void on Sunday, talking about why a Black had big things to say about him, even called him a new nickname, Big Sexy. Said YA loves ball. He's engaged, active. He does all the right things. Love hearing that from Terrell Austin, speaking about a fifth-round rookie. It's rare that guys drafted that late have all of those qualities, including a nickname. I guess we're done calling him Big Snack Jr. He's Big Sexy now. Over on the offensive side of the ball, like I mentioned, Terrell Austin spoke. He was then followed by Arthur Smith. Smith today talked about a couple of things briefly, said that the Steelers' tight end room and the depth of the talent in that room is very good. And when asked, what he can do schematically or what, having all that talent permits him to do schematically on the football field, a nice little cheeky answer by Arthur Smith saying that we'll let Steve Wilkes and Aaron Glenn, the head coach and defensive coordinator for the New York Jets, figure that out. Also, Smith, this one here, tons of Steelers fans, they're jumping for joy in the streets hearing this. Smith today saying that this year will be different when it comes to utilizing the middle of the field. Pretty much calling out Russell Wilson, sort of taking a sly shot at him there, but I mean, hey, Russ is 5'11", so no surprise that he didn't throw over the field last year, didn't his whole career, but with Rodgers now back there, he throws over the middle of the field a lot. Looks like Rodgers and Smith will be on the same page there. Also said that they feel that they have the personnel to open up that part of the field, said Smith, with Freiermuth and Jonnu Smith, even Darnell Washington, who is going to be more involved in the pass game than we've ever seen before, work in the middle of the field. You got DK Metcalf. You can put Roman Wilson or Calvin Austin in the slot. Looking forward to the middle of the field being used really for the first time since Seven was here. I mean, honestly, when Big Ben left, you had Mitch Trubisky, which he was just terrible. Kenny Pickett, also equally as bad, but Tomlin kind of put the training wheels on him and just said, hey, throw outside the numbers, don't put the ball in danger. And then last year you had Justin Fields, which, yeah, he used the middle of the field some, but he's not really that much of a pocket passer. And then Russell Wilson, who couldn't see over his offensive line. So with Rodgers now there using the middle of the field, I am salivating at the thought of seeing that used a ton this year. Couple other quotes today from current Steelers players. Linebacker Patrick Queen, I believe this was yesterday actually, said that Blitzburg is coming back. Said they call it Blitzburg for a reason, and we're getting back to that. I'm excited. I love hearing that from Patrick Queen. I think Terrell Austin, defensive coordinator, is going to scheme up the defense a little bit differently than what we've seen before. Kind of similar on offense. You're going to see new things for both sides of the ball, with the Steelers having, I think, even with the departure of Minkah Fitzpatrick, an improved secondary with Jalen Ramsey and Darius Slay and Juan Thornhill. That secondary being a stronger unit will free up those linebackers and defensive linemen to pin their ears back and go get the quarterback. So bringing more pressure to the QB this year and not just seeing basic four-man rushes like what we saw a ton of last year. I am, again, liking the idea of that. Hopefully we see some of it Sunday, especially against Justin Fields and that running game. And then the last quote today from a Steeler player worth noting, Darius Slay, just mentioned him a couple of seconds ago. He today, I should say tonight, will be getting some quality time spent at Deshaun Elliott's house. He will be watching his former team, the Philadelphia Eagles, raise their banner in Philly tonight. Said glowing things of his former team. Low-key, as the banner going up, already got my ring ready just to put on my finger. I might shed a tear, and then I'm back to reality. I'll be so proud. I'm so thankful for that organization. Congratulations to Darius Slay again, but I like that. Shed a tear real quick. Back to reality. All about the present. And my favorite quote added, I still don't like the Cowboys either. So he'll win over a ton of Steelers fans there. But that is it today for Pittsburgh Steelers practice. Main notes, defense. We're going to be seeing some different things. Offense, we're going to throw the ball over the middle of the field more. Nick Herbig still trending and looks to be on track to playing this Sunday. And Cam Heyward did not practice today, did not speak with the media today, but a couple of his teammates and coaches expect him still to be out there on Sunday. Before we continue on here, ladies and gentlemen, just two main segments here for the day. We are going to get into some Pittsburgh Pirates talk here in a minute. 5 of you in here right now. Welcome to the live stream. If you are new, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Also, like this live stream, share this live stream, and leave a comment in the comments section, just like Flocko right here. Welcome, Flocko, as always. Appreciate you being here, as always. Like I said, we are going to get into some Pittsburgh Pirates news right now, and what a game last night for the battling Buccos. Game 2 of their 3-game set against the LA Dodgers. Heading into yesterday, we were expecting to watch that game very, very intently. Braxton Ashcraft got the start for the Buccos. Opposite him was supposed to be Shohei Ohtani, but Ohtani, under the weather, did not pitch. Still hit, but was not on the mound last night against the Buccos. With that, Emmett Sheehan for the Dodgers, I think a bulk bullpen guy for them. He got the start kind of on short notice, and the Pirates took advantage of that. bottom of the first inning, Brian Reynolds got the Buccos on the board. A line drive shot over the Clemente wall. Sheehan tried to sneak a breaking ball on the inside half of the plate. Reynolds pulled his hands in and just ripped it to right field. That made it 1-0. Top of the second, half inning after that home run by Reynolds, Ashcraft for the Buccos. Was looking forward to seeing him start against this good LA Dodgers lineup. Got into a bit of a jam. Bases loaded, nobody out, and this is really a bright spot for him in the idea that he can be a part of this rotation full-time next year. Ashcraft, bases juiced, nobody out, strikes out the first batter that he sees with the bases loaded, strikes out the second, and then gets a routine fly ball out to right field. Brian Reynolds makes the catch. Ashcraft limboing his way out of one hell of a jam. So good job on him there. Got a little bit of extra help after that as well. Andrew McCutchen, 36, 37 years old, and he still got the bat speed. Hit a 408-foot home run down the left field line, hit the rotunda just inside the foul pole down there. Would have been gone in every single ballpark in Major League Baseball. Great stuff there from Kutch. He and Tommy Pham, they are on the same regiment right now, where it's whatever money those guys want on a one-year deal, you just pay it and bring them back next year for how hot they've been in the second half of the season here since the All-Star break. I'm bringing back those two guys. They also bring that veteran leadership that you like in the clubhouse. Should be easy re-signs for Ben Cherington to make this offseason, assuming that he stays, which he probably will. But I'm not holding my breath because, as I say, it's an easy decision to bring both of those guys back. Watch, he'll cite some magical wizard power analytics of baseball and bring neither of them back. So until I see it, I'm not going to hold my breath there. Braxton Ashcraft back out there on the bump for the Pirates. Just went 3 innings through 71 pitches. That second inning where he had bases loaded, no one out, really jacked up his pitch total there. Did not have his best stuff yesterday, even though I said long-term he could be something in this rotation. Yesterday, even though he did not give up a run somehow, some way, not a good day for him. 71 pitches, 38 of those were strikes. Not a good strike-to-ball ratio for him there. Just allowed 2 hits, but walked 4, and like I said, somehow managed to not give up a run. Mike Burrows then came in as the bulk relief guy. Fast forward a little bit later on in the game, bottom of the 6th inning, Joey Bart up to bat with runners on first, or a runner on second, doubles to right field, bangs it off the Clemente wall. That brings home another run, made it 3-0, and that was pretty much all that needed to happen for the Buccos. Coming in to save the day, Dennis Santana, and a positive outing for Santana. As you look at this picture here, hang it in the Louvre, strikes out Shohei Ohtani on a filthy breaking ball that hit the dirt. Ohtani, if you look at the side photo or the side video of him swinging at this ball, wasn't even close. He couldn't hit it with a boat oar. So Dennis Santana, hell of a job to close it out. 3-0 the final score. And the Pirates, I mean, just listen to these stats here. The Pittsburgh Pirates, with a payroll of $83 million, going up against a $349 million payroll for the Dodgers, have taken 2 out of 3 in this series. Since July 1st, your Pittsburgh Pirates, 27-27, so 500 baseball, kind of a par for the course for Donnie Kelly's tenure thus far, which, hey, if he was the manager all year, who knows, this team might still be in contention for a wild card. The Dodgers, since July 1st, 25-29. So the Pittsburgh Pirates since July began, a better baseball team than the Dodgers with not even a, a fourth of the payroll. So good on the Buccos there. They've now won 11 of their last 15, and I dare say that they own the Dodgers because yeah, just crazy stuff from them. Did not expect this coming into this series. The Bucks, by the way, they haven't just been doing this against the Dodgers, against the Mets, Phillies, Tigers, Blue Jays, and Dodgers at home this series. All playoff teams, all at the top of their respective divisions. The Bucks 13-1 against those teams. Continues the trend of the Pirates. They are a juggernaut at home, but on the road they are softer than puppy you know what. So kind of crazy. Bucks, they're going to go for a sweep tonight. Hopefully they get it. That would be a cherry on top of this series against the big bad Dodgers. Lineup tonight for the Buccos: Jared Triolo leads off at shortstop, Nick Gonzalez at second base, Brian Reynolds in the 3-hole in right field, Tommy Pham is the cleanup man in left field, Andrew McCutchen DHing, Nick York at first base, Alexander Canario in center field, Henry Davis catches, and Cam Devaney at third base. A heavy right-handed lineup. As a matter of fact, looking here, the only non-exclusive righty bat in the lineup tonight is Brian Reynolds, the switch hitter. Other than that, everyone else is right-handed. Paul Skenes, happy Paul Skenes Day to all of you who celebrate. He is on the bump tonight against former Cy Young winner Blake Snell. So a Titan-like matchup on the bump tonight. Probably a top 5 pitching duel of the season between Blake Snell and Paul Skenes this evening. I would expect they've kind of been doing this for the past couple of weeks now, assuming that the Bucks can continue this trend of ambushing starting pitching and getting the opposition's starters out of the ball game early. You will then most likely see the lefties, Spencer Horwitz, O'Neal Cruz, come in later in the ball game. But first pitch of that ball game coming up at 6:40. Excited to see the product that the Bucks put on the field tonight. Are they going to be able to finish the sweep, or are they just going to let the final game of the series slip away? We will see. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, 5 of you is still in here. Thank you for sticking around. Real quick, before we continue into the more Pittsburgh sports news segment of the program here, let's real quick take a stroll here through Twitter, see if we have any new news going on that has broken since we have been live. An update on tonight's Pirates game. There are some thunderstorms rolling through western Pennsylvania right now, but it looks like the Pirate game will be getting underway on time. The tarp taken off the field 15 minutes ago, according to Danny D'Amelio, who covers the Buccos for Pittsburgh Baseball Now. See if anything else is going on here. Ian Rappaport, back to the Cam Heyward situation, him not practicing today. Different stances here between Rappaport and Schefter. I know they're probably good friends, but for different outlets here. Rappaport, NFL Network insider, Schefter for ESPN. Unlike Schefter, who cited Heyward's absence as possibly relating to his contract scenario, Rappaport saying it is just a rest day for Heyward. Just a rest day. So Rappaport throwing some cold water there. Kind of goes along with the idea of, hey, no harm, no foul here. Cam always takes Thursdays off. See if anything else is going on here. Not seeing anything new that we are not about to discuss here. So we are going to get into some extra Pittsburgh sports news for the day right now. And talking about Cam Heyward and the Steelers, let's focus back in on this weekend's matchup between the Steelers and the New York Jets. We did get confirmation this morning. Jets, a blow to their offensive line confirmed, and it is a long-term problem for them. Their starting right guard, Elijah Vera Tucker, underwent season-ending surgery for a torn tricep. So the Steelers, especially Cam Heyward, TJ Watt, and man, it would have been nice to have Derek Harmon play on Sunday. Would have been a nice, intro to the league for him. So I'm assuming Isaiah Loudermilk or whoever lines up alongside TJ Watt on the D line there, they will now be going up against a rookie right tackle in Armand Membo and a backup guard, which, trying to think here, it might be Joe Tippmann. I think a mid-round pick from the Jets last year, so I will wait and see. However, the good news for the Jets today is that their top corner, Sauce Gardner, he is a full participant in practice today. Was dealing with a fibula injury in his calf, but kind of like how we think the Nick Herbig situation is, just something that they kind of have to report, but he'll be good to go on Sunday. Couple other notes here for this Sunday's game between the Jets and the Steelers. According to ML Football, according to Vivid Seats, 48% of tickets bought for the Steelers-Jets game at MetLife Stadium have been purchased by Pittsburgh fans. So I know the Jets and New York, big football market, but Steelers Nation, they are worldwide, and they might take over MetLife Stadium even more than we could have expected heading into Sunday. So that is a good thing to hear. Last note on the game this upcoming weekend. Did not know that this was a real stat until today. Jerry Dulac for the Pittsburgh Post-Gazette cites the Elias Sports Bureau. Aaron Rodgers versus Justin Fields. It will be the first time in NFL history that opposing QBs who each played for the opposing team the previous season have started against each other in week one. So the first time ever that the starting QBs for two teams 1 year swapped places and played each other the next year. That's kind of crazy. Rodgers, by the way, Aaron, that is, for all of you Steeler fans looking for juicy rumors or, stuff to stir the pot on Rodgers, I don't know, get some dirt on him this upcoming season. According to Pro Football Talk, I believe that is Mike Florio, who does work there. Rodgers is not expected to do his normal Tuesday appearances on the Pat McAfee show. So purely focused on ball this final season. Sure, would have been nice to have the news to talk about. Rodgers going on McAfee every Tuesday and kind of go head to head, with Mike Tomlin. Tomlin always has his Tuesday press conferences at noon, and then Rodgers goes on within the first 2 hours of the McAfee show. Would have been interesting to see those two media availabilities kind of combat each other sometimes, but Rodgers purely focused on ball. Not going to complain about that either in what will be his final year, most likely, according to him. Still sticking with some issues here related to the Steelers, some stories relating to them, but not directly. The Steelers wide receiver search. This is pretty much going to be the ending of us talking about wide receivers because it's clear as day that the Steelers will not be adding one between now and Sunday. For any possibilities, real or unreal, in recent weeks, that the Steelers were looking to acquire Jawan Jennings, wide receiver for the San Francisco 49ers. Kind of good that the Steelers didn't get too locked in on trading for him, because that would have been another Brandon Ayuk situation. Jennings this morning reaching an agreement with the Niners, adding $3 million in playtime incentives to his contract for this year. So I guess that's kind of like a Cam Heyward situation that the Niners just did with Jennings. Wouldn't be shocked if the Steelers do the same thing soon. And the last bit of news on the wide receiver front, this will probably be the last time that we talk about it relating to the Steelers. Good thing that they did not give us the blind hope that Amari Cooper could have been a possible wide receiver too for this team. I'm going to admit it. I pounded the table on here. I said if the Steelers aren't going to trade for anyone, Terry McLaurin, Jacoby Myers, this guy, that guy, Amari Cooper was the top option still available on the wide receiver market. Thought he would have been nice here in the Steelers. Good thing they didn't sign him, because this morning, after just 9 days back with his team in the Las Vegas Raiders, the team that he began his NFL career with, he retired. Said Ian Rappaport, putting out there, "Come back no more." He informed the team that he no longer has the desire to play. So I wonder, Mike Tomlin kind of has that saying, "We want volunteers, not hostages." Would rather say woe than sick 'em. Wonder if they got that feeling from Cooper. If they ever got in contact with him, there was, little, if any, rumors or reports about the Steelers possibly looking at Cooper. But, man, just a couple of days away from the season beginning. Kind of glad the Steelers didn't step on that rake, because it would have came right up in their face and knocked them for a loop. Would have given us the hope, Amari Cooper, that, hey, the Steelers wide receiver group is now set. We got weapons galore for the offense heading into the season. And then, bam, back to square one. So that was a headache avoided. Wrapping up the Steelers talk here for the day. Update on one of the Steelers division rivals in the Cleveland Browns, defensive end Myles Garrett, ahead of the Browns hosting the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday. That will be at the same time of the Steelers Jets game. I'll probably have a small screen on right here to keep tabs on that game. Myles Garrett did not practice today with a hip injury. So maybe that's something to keep in mind for the foreseeable future. Wonder if that will be a lingering issue. In the last piece of football news here today, this is probably one of the more least expecting things that you could probably hear today. Former Steelers offensive tackle, who has not played in the NFL since 2021, Zach Banner, trying to get back into football, working out with the Chicago Bears today. Congratulations to Banner. I think he was, going back 4 years now, a likable guy on the offensive line, and just had a bad injury, and, Steelers had to cut bait with him. But hey, if he latches on somewhere in the NFL, good for him. So that'll do it for the football news here today. Real quick, let's go back to the comment section. Flacco there. Steelers Nation always takes over Buccaneer Stadium. Yeah, kind of like, I think, any Southern stadium, or like a stadium that isn't like one of these hardcore fan bases. Like, it's always hard for the Steelers to take over any of the other 3 AFC North teams. You don't see rarely any Steelers fans in other big, successful fan base markets like Buffalo and Kansas City, Seattle. But, teams in especially those 2 big markets, New York and LA, I think New York, LA fans of those teams have better, things to do than go watch the Jets or the Giants or the Chargers or the Rams. So it's easier for the Steelers to take over those stadiums. And then pretty much any Southern team, Jacksonville, Tampa Bay, like you mentioned, Miami. Miami's kind of half and half, but you do see a good bit of Steelers fans in there. Let's go west a little bit. Arizona, I think. You see a ton of Steelers fans take over. But, yeah. Steelers Nation is everywhere, Flacco. You're indeed right there. When they play here, that is. Yeah, I get you. Good thing we didn't sign Cooper, LOL. Retired from the Raiders already is wild. Yeah. Didn't someone do that last year? Yeah, Steelers went through that last year. Marcus Golden. Had to give me a second to think of that. Marcus Golden did that last year on the Steelers. Came back, was there for like 2 weeks, I think, maybe even just a week in Latrobe, and retired. So, yeah. Steelers know how that feels. Good thing they didn't sign Cooper, or else it would have been back-to-back years. A guy comes here and boom, just don't feel like playing anymore. Thanks for the, I'm sure a little bit of a payday for me showing up here, and now I'm going to go eat chips and all that, and instead of, putting myself, grinding my body through hell for the next, 5-6 months. I think that's going to be it for me. Yeah, Marcus. That's so funny. Yeah, so good thing Steelers did not do that again. Say that much. Continuing along here with the extra Pittsburgh sports news of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Just 2 extra baseball news stories here for today. And they are both relating to prospects. Yesterday, we talked about a scary situation in Double-A Altoona where top prospect for the Bucks, Connor Griffin, got hit in the helmet with a 96-mile-an-hour fastball, popped right up the other night and continued on. Stayed in the rest of the ball game. Again, got plunked last night. Another high fastball. Looks like it got him in the shoulder. Shook it off. Went to first base. Seemingly was good because he stole second base on the next pitch. But enough is enough here. We already had one scare with our top prospect who, with the trajectory he's going at, looks like he could be another franchise savior like Paul Skenes here. But we don't need him getting hit every single night. 1 was bad enough in the head, but 2 is now knock it the hell off, whoever's pitching. Control your stuff. I mean, seriously. So, Griffin, hopefully no more plunking in his future. And sticking with the prospect talent here. Congrats on this guy. I believe this is probably the second, maybe even the third time I've mentioned this guy getting some sort of accolade in the minor leagues. Kalen Moss, first baseman with High A Greensboro now. I believe he was with Low A Bradenton not that long ago. Buccos got him in the Bailey Falter trade, which, I mean, with how Falter's doing with Kansas City, that trade looks better for the Bucks by the start. But one of the players that the Buccos got back in that deal, Kalen Moss, just won, or I guess I should say was awarded Player of the Month in the South Atlantic League at the High A level this month. A 3.83 ERA in August, a 3.83 batting average, 36 hits, 6 home runs, 19 RBIs, and OPS over 1,000. So maybe a diamond in the rough there. I mean, he's got a long way to go from High A ball here, but we'll see what comes of it. Keep an eye on that kid. Last piece of news here for the day, just relating to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Did not see all that much here. Did not see all that much today, if anything at all, about the Pens continuing informal skates at the UPMC Lemieux Sports Complex. They started those yesterday. But one person that I did not mention that was there at least yesterday, Sidney Crosby in the building, did not practice, was not on the ice, but was spotted talking with several prospects like Owen Pickering and Tristan Brose, who was there yesterday. So Sid back in Pittsburgh. Glad to get baseball underway here soon. real quick. That'll do it for the extra Pittsburgh sports news of the day. By the way, real quick, Echelon Motion Pictures. Welcome back, Echelon. What did I miss? Bit of a slow day today. Going to be quite honest. I'm sure, have a little bit more to talk about tomorrow before we get to Sunday's ball game between the Steelers and the Jets. Today, Cam Heyward not practicing. Practice yesterday. Did not practice today. Did not speak with the media today as well. Some people flipping out about it. I'm kind of, keeping my worries low on it because Heyward, for the last handful of years, has never practiced on Thursdays. He always takes that day off as a veteran rest day. So, going to take it as a business as usual approach to him there and not going to relate it too much to the contract situation he's going through. Other than that, Nick Herbig practice again today, even though he's listed as a limited participant. No reason to expect that he will miss Sunday. In baseball, Pittsburgh Pirates still hot. They are going for a sweep here in about half an hour against the LA Dodgers in that series. They are just owning the LA Dodgers right now. And other than that, that's it. Guessing Cam Heyward has a day off, but he's possibly might sit out game one. Oh, well, let's win without him. Yeah. I'm hoping that it's just, a normal day that Cam Heyward has the day off. They labeled it on the practice report as a veteran rest day. But I think still he will play. Still think he's going to get that sweetener maybe tomorrow, maybe over the weekend before Sunday's game to ensure that he's out there. Terrell Austin expects him to be out there. Mike Tomlin expects him to be out there. Alex Highsmith, the guy who literally lines up right beside him, expects Heyward to be out there. If not, then the already massive amount of heat that is on him right now, it is going to get cranked up by another, 100 degrees. Wish Derek Harmon was healthy too. Would help the run game a lot, but let's go YA. Yeah, as much as I love YA Black, Derek Harmon not being out there, I think with YA Black, you can live without Harmon for a game or two. But if you don't have Heyward out there, then you're looking at your three down defensive linemen being YA Black, Keanu Benton, and Isaiah Loudermilk, which is not a good sign for really any NFL team. So I think this Heyward situation will get worked out. Will suck not seeing Harmon, but hey, such is life in the NFL. Still expect him to be back next weekend for the Steelers home opener against the Seahawks. But lots to look forward to here this weekend between the Steelers and Jets. We will be live Sunday for that game. We'll also keep an eye on what goes down between the Browns and Bengals as well. So fun weekend ahead. Can't wait for it. Going to take one last stroll here through Twitter, see if we have any last-second bits of information before logging off for the night, I should say. Seeing a video here, George Pickens in the building in Philadelphia, walking in for his first game as a Dallas Cowboy. How do we think GP's going off tonight? How do we think George Pickens is going to do tonight? I'm going to go for his season in a nutshell. He'll make one ridiculous grab, and then he'll probably have a dumb penalty late in the game or something once the Cowboys begin getting blown out. That would be crap. But as long as we score 30 points, I'm good with the final score. Predict me 34-13. You're expecting 34 points from the Steelers offense? We scored 37 points last year. Let's try to match that. Yeah, but that was mid-season against the Jets. This is like week one. I'm maxing out at like 20. I'm maxing out at like 27, 28 points for the Steelers in this ballgame. I'm thinking like a 27 to 21, 24 victory, something like that. George Pickens tonight, 6 catches, 76 yards, no TD. I think that would be an accurate one. 6 catches though. I assume that could be, double-digit targets for him. And I know Dak and that Cowboys offense wants to throw the ball a lot, but where does CeeDee Lamb fit in that picture? Jets are not good, and real fans know Justin Fields is not. Well, you know the rest. Yeah. Steelers, I really hope that they contain Justin Fields. They should know just about all they need to know about him for having him in their building last year. If he goes off on them, it is going to be ugly on Steelers social media. So hopefully we get to see them stifle him. The only worrying part is we just talked about Derek Harmon not playing and possibly Cam Heyward. Who knows? I think he'll play, but in the chance that he doesn't play, that would open up the window for the Jets to just run the ball at will against the Steelers with Fields and Breece Hall and Braylon Allen and anyone else that they got. So that's my only worry there. Let's see if we got anything else here. On the Steelers. Another crazy storyline for this game. It came out today. Apparently the Philadelphia Eagles, they were in on Micah Parsons. Could you imagine how this game would be here tonight if Parsons was on the Eagles? That's crazy. I think the defense will be too much for him, but the Jets' run game will be promising. I do agree with that. The defense will be too much for him, especially if they actually live up to their words and their actions of what they did in the preseason. If they actually have, TJ Watt moving around, Jalen Ramsey bouncing all around the secondary, throw different formations and blitzes at Fields, I think they could rattle him early. Just have to get them on second and long situations and win on early downs. Yeah. Yep, that'll be key. You put them in, second and 12, second and 14, that puts the Steelers in a much better situation. Parsons plus the Eagles Super Bowl again. Glad that didn't happen. Yeah, I think you could put a ton of money down on the Eagles to win the Super Bowl then. It would have to take catastrophic amounts of injuries to their team to keep them out of it if they had Parsons. That's crazy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, not seeing too much else here for the day, so we're going to put a pause in things here, and we will pick this up tomorrow. Tomorrow, Friday, final day, where we will talk about the final injury reports between the Steelers and Jets, break down anything else that we are hearing ahead of Sunday's game. It should be fun as we get ready for Sunday. We'll also recap what goes on tonight between the Buccos and the LA Dodgers. So one final time, want to thank you all for joining me here tonight. Thank you, Echelon. As always, thank you to Flacco as well for commenting. I appreciate it. One last time, if you're new here to the channel, 7 of you in here right now, please subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications so that you never miss when I am live again. Leave a like on this live stream, share this live stream, leave a comment on the live stream after the fact. Go give the channel a follow on the following social media platforms and come back later tonight for SCSR60. Thank you all. Back here tomorrow with some more to talk about. Same time as always, about 5:30-ish. And then we will head into the weekend. We'll come back on Sunday, be live for the kickoff of the Steelers 2025-26 season in New Jersey against the Jets. Have a good rest of your Thursday night, everyone. Enjoy, hopefully, what will be some stress-free Eagles versus Cowboys football tonight. You can laugh at the Cowboys as much as we want. That'll make us feel good inside. And then we'll meet back here tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night. Peace out.